CRS today. I wish you all the best of luck and the best of fun to the drivers. As the lights go out, Dano jumps the start, jumps to first, and it's immediate chaos on the start as there's so much happening already, so much contact, and that is both Dunder and Men Like Mess off the track as they take each other down with them. Dano out in front in first, but he has that drive-through penalty because he jumped the start quite a bit too early. Jeff up to second now in a battle immediately with Mr. Robert, who has jumped up to second a few off tracks further down the order as Hasenki got the corner a little there, not enough to get a penalty however, as his teammate Albert jumps up to 6 right behind him as the fight in the midfield is well underway as he jumps all over the place, went into the MP Motorsport car of Joshua just then as well, as he seems to be struggling for connection. I don't know what's going on though, as he witnesses first-hand murder as Jeff and Mr. Joshua make contact. Mr. Robert has the fast lap of the race in 2 minute 2.230 currently in his rear wing. At this point they're ghosting into each other. Hasenki looks up the inside on the Camel Straight. It is an easy overtake and then sees the opportunity, sees the door wide open, goes for it, immediately tries to go for the move on Hasenki. They make contact, but nothing really came of it in the end. Front, Albert is slowly catching the Prema Racing of Mr. Robert, someone that can definitely put a fork in the road to victory for some people, as he can be pretty good at defending from what I know to do so, and he has done that very well as Albert looks down the outside of Mr. Robert here as Dano goes in the pits to serve his drive-through penalty. Seemed like there was a bit of contact there between Albert and Mr. Robert on the main straight, but Albert is passed and is in the lead now. Jesus Christ, with Dan plummeting down the order, having to go very slow through the pit lane. That drive-through penalty really hurt his race, but I guess that's what happens if you jump the start so much. As further up ahead, Mr. Robert is back past Albert, as the two will be fighting for the lead of this sprint race for the remaining few laps, as we just have 5 more laps to go. Starting lap, as there's a yellow flag further behind, and it is Dunder who seemed to have gone around, maybe with the help of Dano, compared to Joshua, who's able to go very nicely past him. But then Joshua goes deep through the bus stop chicane. Man Like Mess has the better line, has the better exit, and seems to have the overspeed for now. He moves to the inside of the MP Motorsport car. He makes the move, but he has the slower exit this time around. So it's Joshua who's back on the attack, going into Eau Rouge Rédillon. Let's see what they can do as they go side by side. Joshua backs out a little. He gets blocked by Men Like Mess as a result of it. Further up ahead, Albert and Miss Robert also fight at the end of the Camel Straight. Onto the Camel Straight now goes Joshua with Men Like Mess. Joshua goes and passes him before the braking zone, or just at the start of braking zone, into the next few corners. He is ahead and he seems to be pulling away nicely. As long as he can keep this pace compared to Men Like Mess, he will be away in no time, trying to catch the top 4 who are currently in one big battle for the podium positions. Through penalty, he's back at it and he is quick, but so is Albert, as Albert sets the fastest lap of the race, 1:57.440. Below the 2-minute mark is not something you see often in these F2 cars, as Dano goes off track through the bus stop chicane, went a bit too late on the brakes and a bit too deep off the track. There is yellow flags further behind. Jeff seems to have gone into the bin. Maybe with the help of the Campos of Dano, but who knows, we haven't seen it. But it is very likely, as JF now joins Dunder at the back of the grid. For up ahead, the chaos seems to be arising as the three on the podium three now are pretty close to each other, and then seems to become a threat, slowly become a threat for Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert now has to think not only to what he's going to do with the car ahead, Albert, but also has to focus on Dan and make sure Dan doesn't capitalize on anything and just passes him without him realizing he was even there. That is gonna be very interesting to see as we look from the perspective of the Campos of Dan. We see Mr. Robert look. We saw Mr. Robert look for a move at the end of the Camel Straight. He was just too far back. Mr. Robert just lets Albert know he's there, but in doing so has a lockup through the next few sets of corners. As I forget corner names once again. Spa. I really should know better than this. Able to stay pretty close to each other, with Dan struggling to really keep up the same pace. But in these tight technical corners, he seems to just have a very, very good line through them as he goes side by side with Mr. Robert. But Mr. Robert is able to just keep the upper hand and keep second place into turn 1. Now going onwards up the hill through Orusa Rayon rather sooner than later. Dan is very close to Mr. Robert, so who knows what's gonna happen there as we go through the Camel Kink and then onto the Camel Straight. JF got 3 second down penalties for multiple warnings as well, as Dan looks up the inside, switches to the outside. Mr. Robert defends beautifully, is able to use his one defensive move perfectly against Dan, who just reacted a bit too early to the defense and switched a bit too early going into the braking zone. As ahead, Mr. Albert is keeping the track very well as JF crashes and retires through Orusa Radial. Can't imagine that that was on his own, so I'm guessing there was an incident with Dunder there, who just left that part of the track. Who knows? We'll keep an eye on that for sure, as more and more chaos is erupting. Hello. Dan messes up turn 1 as he seems to be struggling now. Is now going into the bus stop chicane for the final time for the sprint race to take the win of the race in the ART number whatever it is. In the ART, Albert takes the win. Dan takes second with Mr. Robert down to third, Asenki fourth, Joshua fifth. Dano in the end crosses the line to take 6th place. Still a very good result for him, with Man Like Mesa 7th, and Dunder now goes to 8th position in the Damsukas Oil. But this is your winner of the race right here. Absolutely incredible stuff from him and the ART team. ART Grand Prix team, as it is a very nice podium for them as we go into the feature race rather sooner than later. Here are the results of the race.